Hi guys, welcome to video number 2 of the BB36 beginner guitar course. In this video we're going to talk about two very important things every guitar player should know. And that's the different parts of the guitar, so the guitar anatomy, and how to properly hold your acoustic guitar. Now if you want to check out the other videos in this course, check out the link below. I have a link to the course playlist. So yeah, let's begin. This here is an acoustic guitar. Now, on all acoustic guitars, there are three main components. You have the headstock, you have the neck of the guitar, and you have this hollow wooden part, this whole thing here. This is called the body of the guitar. Now, if we take a closer look at the headstock here, we usually have the logo of the guitar up here, and you have tuning pegs. These are also called tuners or machine heads. These ones are closed tuning pegs, so you don't see the gears there. Some of these are open, depends on the guitar you have. And if you go down here, we have this white thing that goes across. This is called the nut of the guitar. This is usually made of plastic or bone. Usually in more expensive guitars, it's made of bone. And that is where the strings begin. Now if you go down here, this flat surface here is your fretboard. So it starts here, it ends here. This is your entire fretboard. This is where you'll be playing your chords, your notes. And you'll notice that it's a different material than the back. So this is a lighter wood here, while the fretboard is a darker wood. They usually use rosewood or ebony for fretboard. I think it's the most common material for fretboards, either rosewood or ebony. Now, if you take a close look at the fretboard, you will find these metal strips here. These are actually called your frets. Now, when someone tells you to play a string on the 5th fret, you're not necessarily playing on the 5th metal strip. You're playing on the 5th space. So the space between the nut and the first metal strip, that's also called your 1st fret. Okay, so the space between the 2nd and 3rd, that's your 2nd fret. So the 5th fret, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So your 5th, if someone tells you to play on the 5th fret, he means you should play on this space here between the 4th metal strip and the 5th metal strip. Okay, that's just something to keep in mind when you're playing. Now, you'll also find these, I don't know if you can see it, but they're these white dots on the fretboard. Not all guitars have this, but most, I think it's common on most acoustic guitars. So these are called inlays. They're usually made of plastic. Sometimes they're made of shell. You'll find them usually on the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th, 15th, and this one even has on the 17th. So yeah, and you also find them here on top. This makes it easier for the guitar player to know exactly which fret he's playing. So I don't really have to turn over and look at those inlays. I can see them right here. That's why they put them here also. Some guitars just have them here without the ones in front. Anyway, if you go lower here, where the neck attaches to the body, this chunk of wood here, this is called the heel of the guitar. Okay, now if you go down to the body, this whole front section, it's usually a different color of wood. This is called the top of the guitar. So this whole thing is your top, or it's also called the soundboard. The sides, left and right, those are just called your sides, and the back is just called the back. Now if we go over to the front again, this hole here is called your sound hole. This is the most common shape, the rounded sound hole. Sometimes you'll have different fancy holes around, but this is the most common type. It's just a round hole at the center here. And down here, this piece of wood here, this is called your bridge. It's usually the same material as your fretboard. In my case, it's rosewood. And you have 6 pins called bridge pins. These pins are inserted into the bridge to hold down the strings. And this white thing, this is your saddle. So this is made of the same material as the nut. So if the strings begin here, they end here on your saddle. And also on many acoustic guitars, you will find like a sticker type thing here. It's called a pick guard to protect the finish from strumming with a pick. So sometimes you'll have it there. That guitar at the back, that has a pick guard. This one doesn't have. And you will also find at the bottom here, this is called a strap lock. So if you're using a strap with your guitar, you lock it here, and the other end will usually be on the heel. Sometimes it can be up here, and other times you just loop it around the headstock. Now some guitars are shaped like this. You'll notice there's like this thing here, this scoop here. This is called a cutaway. It makes it easier for you to get to the higher frets. Many acoustic guitars don't have that, so it'll be a little harder to reach that. You normally don't reach this high in an acoustic guitar, but yeah, this cutaway just makes that possible to reach all the way up here. Okay, so those are the different parts of an acoustic guitar. It's always a good thing to know the different parts of your guitar, so whenever someone mentions something, you know exactly where it is. Okay, so next we're going to talk a bit about how to properly hold your acoustic guitar. Okay, now let's talk about how to properly hold your acoustic guitar. So most guitars are right-handed guitars, which means that your right hand does the strumming and the plucking while your left hand does the chords. But there are also left-handed guitars, which is on the opposite side. So your left hand does the strumming and the plucking while your right hand does the chords. So a quick way to tell if you have a right-handed or left-handed guitar would be to hold it in place. So start with the right hand position, because this is the most common, and to look at the strings. So if your thickest string is on top and your thinnest string is at the bottom here, then you're holding a right-handed guitar, and that is how to play it. But if you find that your thinnest string is on top here and your thickest string is at the bottom, that means it's a left-hand guitar, and you're supposed to switch that over and play it this way, or switch the strings around. Now, to hold the guitar, you find this little curve here on the body, and that's where you put your right leg. So you rest the guitar on your right leg, right there. You don't rest it on the left leg, because that will be really awkward. So you put it on the right leg like that, and your forearm, this part here, you rest it on this edge of the body of your guitar. Rest it there. That's to stabilize your strumming and plucking hand, and it's also to hold the guitar in place. So you don't necessarily have to hold the neck of the guitar to keep it in place, because your hand is right there. It's like clamping the guitar to your body. Okay. Now for the fretting hand, it goes under, the thumb goes behind the neck, and your four fingers come up here on the front of the guitar. Okay, so again, it comes up from under, the thumb at the back of the neck, and your four fingers in front. And that is how to properly hold an acoustic guitar. Now, classic guitars are held a little differently. So you'll normally see a player's left foot on top of a stool or something, and this curve on the body sits on their left leg, while the bottom rests on the right leg. So it should be positioned something like this. But that's for classic guitars. We're talking about acoustic guitars, so we're holding it this way. Again, the curve that sits on your right leg, forearm resting here, and your fretting hand, it goes under, thumb at the back, four fingers in front. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We have a lot more course videos coming up. Our next video is actually about how to tune your guitar by ear. So if you don't have any tuner, if you don't have a phone, you will learn how to tune it by ear, or how to tune it using an electronic tuner. And we'll even maybe teach you how to tune it on your phone, or apps to use on your laptop or something. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please leave a comment. Again, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. It's coming out next week, by the way, next Friday. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and stay safe.